Naturally, I don't believe in it. The human nature, though, I feel like it sometimes can be greedy and always wants the next best thing. I'm Fresco,
I'm Iyanna.
and this is Caught Up. All right, let's get into these questions. Are long distance relationships sustainable in the long run, or do they usually lead to a breakup? I really do feel like it's possible, but I feel like there is a lot of variables. I've been in a few distance relationships, but some of them are different in different ways. Like, for example, there might be a period of time that you have the relationship before it becomes distant, or some people might engage in a distance relationship from the beginning. There's definitely a lot of things that can go into it, but I feel like with the right communication and boundaries, I feel like it's possible. But it's definitely a more difficult thing to do, like if you don't have the means of like frequently visiting or the time of day to like dedicate social interaction with your partner through a means of technology, then I wouldn't recommend it, but it's definitely possible.
I feel like if the relationships, like y'all start out in person, I feel like it could work. Because I mean, y'all, that trust already there. So it's easier for y'all to transition to being away from each other. But if it started out as long distance.
Yeah, that's why I said there's too many variables, but I do feel like usually it doesn't end the best, but they say when you know, you know. So
yeah.
I think it depends, like I said. I've actually had a few distance relationships, and they were really weird.
How far is distance?
So like,
how far was the distance?
That also is a variable, but like, so my first distance relationship, we started dating when I was a sophomore in high school, and we dated for 8 months before she left because her dad had retired out of the military. So 8 months, and then they moved to San Antonio, Texas for 10 months that we had dated. And I actually visited them one time, and it wasn't bad, like it went pretty good, but I was young at the time, and there was still things I hadn't learned. And that was like a first relationship, sort of, kind of for her, but like not so much for me. But it still worked for a little bit of time, but there was definitely difficulties because, we were still in high school, and there's a lot of stuff that happens when you go to a new school and stuff like that. So, but that wasn't terrible, but I definitely like wasn't the best fan of long distance relationships. But then after that, I had one in college where they had graduated from the same high school as me, but they went to a different college, and they lived in the University of North Georgia, and they went to, which is Dahlonega, it's like an hour north of Atlanta. So, but their parents still lived here, and it was during the pandemic, and they actually got sent here back, when everybody got kicked out of their dorms and stuff. So it's really always variable. I'm not trying to talk too much, but it's always something. But I feel like the next time, say for example, I was to engage in another long distance relationship, I would definitely want to make sure that like certain things were set in stone. I probably wouldn't, honestly. I'd probably avoid it at most costs, like at all costs, unless it were something where, I don't know, maybe this is a different question, but do you believe that there is someone, like, do you believe that everyone has a soulmate? Do you think that, you know what I'm saying? Like, because, some people say, oh, when you know, like, it's that person. So do you think that? But you don't think so? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
I understand, like, if you know when you know, but like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You can do whatever, you know what I'm saying?
I do believe there is someone for everyone, though. Like, there's someone there for you.
For sure, but there's not just one person, though.
Exactly. You can have, like, romantic soulmates, but you can also have platonic soulmates.
That's fair. Sometimes it just happens. I mean, it's never by choice, I guess. I think a lot less distance relationships happen just strictly online.
The next question is monogamy a natural state for humans, or should we reevaluate our expectations around fidelity and monogamy? Truly, I mean, it's up to you and what you into. If you okay with having one partner and that's what you're comfortable with, then monogamy is for you. If you got more love to share, then explore other options.
Monogamy is a lot more accepted than polygamy, but some people, they have their preferences. Me personally, I don't really believe in polygamy as much, but I see like the appeal for it, And the way that you ask the question kind of makes me think like when you say, is it a natural state for humans? I would almost have to argue in a scientific way, maybe no. Like, is marriage something that was like scientifically planned for our species, you know? Or were we meant to reproduce based on like, I don't know, based on like how long that period of time is. But I would say like naturally I don't believe in it. The human nature though, I feel like it sometimes can be greedy and always wants the next best thing. It could go either way, but I don't believe in polygamy that much.
I mean, I truly just believe everybody should do what they want. Me personally,
For sure.
I'm in a monogamous relationship, and he doesn't believe in polygamy. I truly don't care. It's really up to you and your partner's decision if y'all want to do that. If you're in a relationship where y'all like doing threesomes, polygamy might be the best thing for you because at that point it's a routine.
It's one of those things that like like I said, there's a lot of variables. There's a lot of things that go into it, but these type of things are being questioned more and more these days as norms begin to change. I've seen, more and more social media stuff about people that have multiple wives and they're happy or whatever, and just like couples.
But that's acceptable in other countries though.
No, I'm not talking about like in other countries. I get what you're saying too, but I'm saying like, have you ever seen like throuples or like, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like a guy and two women, but they're all happy, or I don't know. It's weird. Like sometimes it's more of a group setting. I don't know. It's personally, I wouldn't engage in that. And like I said, it's perfectly okay, but it's starting to get more accepted. And whether or not it's natural is the question. So that's what I'm kind of like trying to figure out. Is it natural? Because like if it boils down to like the natural nature of a human.
If it was considered natural, they made it unnatural because it's looked down upon. So truly, no one will really ever know if it's natural or not because it is. I wouldn't say it's a sin, but it's definitely frowned upon.
Yeah, I feel like, but if we're speaking in terms of like the wild, you know what I'm saying? Like
I mean, most animals.
Exactly, but some animals don't. Some animals do. They do take upon more partners,
Like a lion's pride. The male lion that's in charge. He truly, I don't know. I wouldn't.
That's why I was kind of thinking of it in that way. And also another thing that is unfortunate is that like sometimes when like, especially back in the day in history, like after a woman gets pregnant and has a baby, she's not exactly
desirable.
Seen the same, you know what I'm saying? And that varies, but of course, if you're a king and you can just say whatever, you know what I'm saying? So that I feel like that might be a part of the natural thing about it. Like I've definitely heard some like really messed up stories about how people like have treated their like wives after the pregnancy or even during the pregnancy. Depends on what you define as natural at the end of the day, but I don't believe in polygamy myself though.
Thank y'all for watching Caught Up.
Make sure to tune in next week.
If you enjoyed this episode of Caught Up, you can check out more down below and some of the other videos on the channel. Also, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification so you can always watch Caught Up and just more Lark content. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day.